So where do we even start? Somehow the Philadelphia Eagles managed to lose this game on Monday Night Football to the Seattle Seahawks. Philadelphia was 30-0 with a lead of 7 or more points under Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter. And now that mark under Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni is 30-1. Philadelphia's defense gave up a 92-yard drive to Drew Lock to lose this football game in stunning, heartbreaking fashion, 20-17. That is 3 consecutive losses for this ball club. And right now, Philadelphia, which still controls its own destiny in the NFC East, is reeling right now. They're playing awful football. And the Eagles gave up 20 points to a Seahawks team that was without its starting quarterback, to a Seahawks team that couldn't get DK Metcalf going the entire game. And after Philadelphia made a statement on their opening drive of the football game, 8.5 minutes, 15 plays, 75 yards, scoring a touchdown on a Jalen Hurts run. They scored 10 points the rest of the game. Now, I know a lot of people are going to point to Matt Patricia, and they're going to try to make fun of him, and they're going to say that the Eagles just rearranged the deck chairs on the Titanic, which pretty much they did, because they're searching for answers right now, when in reality, they're just not playing quality football, and they're a bad football team. But I just want to say that this loss is not on Matt Patricia. This loss is on Jalen Hurts. This loss is on Nick Sirianni. And this loss is on the Philadelphia Eagles offense. The Eagles have built up their organization to be an offensive run organization. The Eagles deem themselves as an offensive team with this quarterback factory. They have A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, DeAndre Swift, this offensive line. And they had countless opportunities, time and time again down the stretch, to end this game, to win it, to pretty much win the NFC East, to pick up their 11th win of the year, with the Giants, Cardinals, and Giants coming up to round out the 2023 campaign. And they couldn't even get a field goal. They couldn't even sustain drives. So while Drew Lock did march the Seahawks down 92 yards, and the ghost of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside once again comes back to haunt Philadelphia because DK Metcalf on that final drive cooked James Bradberry over and over again, as Bradberry continues to show everybody that he is an absolutely cooked product. This loss, in my opinion, is on the offense. Credit to Jalen Hurts for gutting through the sickness. 2 interceptions in this second half. And if you can't find a way to just finish the game against a bad Seahawks team that came in having lost 4 games in a row, this is on this offense. Jason Kelce, you have an opportunity to go up 14-0, and you move the football on a play that the NFL has been telling teams not to do. You're a veteran. You're a future Hall of Famer. You're the best center in the league. You move the football, and that kept the Eagles away from an opportunity to go up 14-0. Instead, they go up 10-0, kind of changed the momentum of the football game a little bit, and it allowed the Seahawks to come back. And let me ask you this question. Like, if the playoffs were next week for this Eagles team, are you confident that Philadelphia would be able to win a first-round matchup as still the 2 seed in the NFC? You're not really confident in this football team right now with what they're doing offensively because they can't consistently score, they can't consistently move the ball, or what they're doing on the defensive side of the football. They certainly missed Darius Slay tonight. James Bradberry has just gotten so washed overnight. And it's a shame because some of the young players on this Eagles defense came to play. Jalen Carter with the critical sack. Sidney Brown at moments played well. Keely Ringo, I thought, held up well on the outside. Again, DK Metcalf did nothing up until the final drive of the game when the Eagles could not stop him. And then Jaxon Smith-Njigba catches that game-winning touchdown, beating James Bradberry. No safety help, I understand. Bradberry's got to be better. Now make sure you subscribe to us here on Philadelphia Eagles Now for year-round and daily content of the Birds. Win or lose, we're going to continue to cover this team. Eagles offensive numbers, these numbers are gross. And you think about what a team like the Niners did against the Seahawks team. They wiped the field with Seattle 2 times in 3 weeks. The Eagles put together an offensive performance of 321 yards. They ran it well, 38 carries, 178 yards. For those of you who are asking to run the damn football, the Eagles were able to do that, and I like the balanced approach. But once again, one of my keys to the game going into this, you got to take care of the football. Eagles did it for one half. They didn't do it in the second half. 2 Jalen Hurts interceptions. Those 2 turnovers ended up being a big difference in this football game. And you look at Seattle, this is why I'm not blaming Matt Patricia. I'm not blaming this Eagles defense. The Eagles defense held Seattle to under 300 yards of total offense. Drew Lock threw for 197 yards. A bulk of those came on the 92-yard game-winning drive. Seattle ran 24 times, 101 yards. The Eagles' tackling was just abysmal. But what ends up being a difference? 0 turnovers for Seattle. It's just so frustrating. Philadelphia in a gotta-have-it game, must-win game. You win this, everybody's fears, everybody's concerns, they dissipate. They go out of the window. And you get outscored 17-7 in the second half to the Seattle Seahawks, who own this organization. The Eagles have not beaten the Seahawks since 2008. And now, this is a long trip back home, sour taste in your mouths. The bad vibes for this football team continue. And when you think about it, is this the worst loss in the Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts regime? It might be. Our post-game show sponsored by Game Time. If you're looking for last-minute tickets, download the Game Time app. If you want to go to the Eagles-Giants game on Christmas Day, you can. But do you want to lend your eyes to watch this team right now? Win or lose, you always bleed that green. I understand. So if you're looking to go to the game, best seats at the lowest price guaranteed. Download the Game Time app. And you can use this app to go to an Eagles game, a different sporting event, but also they have tickets to go to comedy shows, concerts, theater events. And the best deal about it, the deal that we have for you, $20 off using the code EaglesChat. Still tickets available for that Eagles-Giants game. Prices low for the importance of it. Under $160 to get in. You can see where you'll be sitting and the price points for these seats as well. When you download the Game Time app, $20 off using the code EaglesChat. Jalen Hurts' final numbers here tonight, 17-31, 143 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, a passer rating of 40.1, 13 rushes for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Nick Sirianni kind of fought back on Philadelphia not running a lot of pre-snap motion because the Eagles are 32nd in pre-snap motion. I have an issue with that, and I talked about that last week because this Eagles offense right now is stale, it's lethargic, it's predictable, it is just not creative. It seems like anytime the Eagles need to move the football, it's a slant to A.J. Brown, it's some type of crosser to DeVonta Smith. They're not getting Dallas Goedert involved as much. They tried to play Quez Watkins, who just continues to only pose a speed threat and do nothing else well I understand he got his jersey pulled. He can't get bullied on that route. And he can't get redirected. He didn't even make a play for the football. And I'm interested to see how Philadelphia is going to try to respond. Eagles have now lost 3 straight games under Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts for the first time since their first month together 3 seasons ago. And that was in the first year of a rebuild. This is a year in which you're coming off the Super Bowl. This is a year in which you have Super Bowl aspirations and expectations. And now you go into the final 3 games, you are limping badly. There are no answers coming on the defensive side of the football because the personnel is the personnel. And the offense is supposed to carry this team. Yet they've been in a funk for a long time. They start games slow. They started faster today, and then they didn't do anything the rest of the game. It just leaves you speechless and leaves you just disgusted, man. Now, you look at the NFC playoff picture. The Cowboys, because they own the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Eagles, now move from the 5th seed to the 2 seed. Philadelphia basically had an opportunity here tonight with the win to pick up an 11th win with Giants, Cardinals, Giants coming up to pretty much win this division. You host a home game. You get that 2 seed. You like your chances in the wild card round. You still have an opportunity at the number 1 seed. But you're just messing around here. And now, you lose this game, you drop to the 5th seed. And you'd have to go on the road to take on a Buccaneers team that's playing damn good football right now. And Baker Mayfield's been slinging it. How much confidence do you have that the Eagles are going to go on the road in the first round of the playoffs if that ends up being the situation? To get a win with how they're playing right now. There's an opportunity to right their wrongs. There's an opportunity to get back on track for sure, to recapture some of that offensive momentum. But everything just seems so hard for this football team right now. Now, if the Eagles win out, they win the NFC East because they do own the better record in the NFC. So the scheduling kind of works out in their favor. The Cowboys still have Dolphins, Lions, and Commanders. But it's just not good right now. The Eagles now -6 in turnover differential. That's tied for 27th in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is up to 17 turnovers, tied for the most in the NFL. They ranked 3rd in turnover differential last year. The Eagles had this win probability throughout the entire game that was at more than like 80, 90% for much of the game. It fluctuated, and they found a way to somehow lose. Inexcusable. This team is too good to be playing this poorly, and the Philadelphia Eagles look like frauds. Paul, $10 super chat. We don't deserve to go to the playoffs with a conservative offense. Defense was better. Bradbury needs to stay in the slot. Rick's Ringo stay on the outside. Bradbury's too slow to play outside now. He just is. I like what I saw from Ringo tonight. I thought Rick's was pretty solid. It's just a pathetic loss, man. It's a pathetic loss, and it's disgusting. Andrew Nathan, $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Paul. Horrible play design on that last play. No one got open, had to throw that ball. Shaking my head. It's time for Brian Johnson to go. Again, we go away from the run. Well, I mean, on that final drive, you have to throw it because they took over with, 26 seconds left and 3 timeouts. You can't run it there. The Eagles ran it a ton, as we talked about today. As a team, they ran it 38 times. But if you want to come at Brian Johnson for the play design, that is on Nick Sirianni. This is his offense. He's the one who decides to not run a lot of pre-snap motion. He's the one who comes up with these play designs. And this offense, it looks like right now teams have caught up to what they want to do. Romeo, $5 super chat. Guess we'll be drafting corners and linebackers. They're going to need to. Linebacking play is suspect. Defensive line is solid, although they don't get to the quarterback consistently enough. And they struggle to hold up on the outside. I feel like there's just so much to talk about. Turnovers are just a massive concern. And it's a coaching point. It's an execution point. It's just a sloppy football team right now. Everything feels hard. Everything feels broken. The players and the coaches, they just have to be a lot better. Emmanuel Henderson with the $20 super chat. I don't know what to think. We beat ourselves again. Poor tackling, bad play calling. Who do you blame? Everyone. Yeah, I don't blame Matt Patricia. The defense was pretty good. From what we've seen from the Eagles defense, the Eagles defensive performance tonight as compared to weeks prior was so much better. So much better. And I think that comes down to better play calling. They got off the field on third downs. They came up with the red zone stop when previously teams were 10 for their last 10 at scoring touchdowns in the red zone. So we saw some strides, but the personnel is the personnel. James Bradbury being washed is James Bradbury being washed. So the Eagles lose 20-17, a disgusting choke job of a loss for Philadelphia tonight in the Pacific Northwest. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, with another Eagles show live on Wednesday. Let me know what you think in the chat. This is just brutal right now.